What if I told you that most people walk through life like players in a game they don't even know they're playing? Imagine waking up every day, moving through routines, drinking your morning coffee, taking your pills, scrolling the news, and yet feeling somewhere deep inside that something essential is missing. Not a thing, not a person, but a force. Energy. That invisible thread that once made you feel alive, curious, and present. You had it when you were young. You felt it when you danced in the kitchen, when you sat in stillness on your porch as the sun dipped behind the hills, when you laughed until you cried and your body felt light. Where did that go? Science tells us energy is neither created nor destroyed. The first law of thermodynamics. What if this law didn't just apply to machines and stars, but also to your spirit? If energy is never lost, then maybe we haven't lost ours. Maybe we've misplaced it, scattered it across memories, regrets, and habits that no longer serve us. The fatigue you feel may not just be physical. It may be the accumulated weight of unexpressed emotions, repetitive thought patterns, and a world that tells you your best days are behind you. Let's take a moment to talk about mitochondria. These microscopic power plants exist in every cell of your body and are responsible for producing ATP, the energy currency of life. Studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic show that mitochondrial health declines with age, but they also show something else: mitochondria respond to intention and action. Breathwork, light physical activity, proper hydration, even deep emotional reflection can reactivate them. Isn't it interesting that the very same ancient practices that monks and mystics have used for centuries, breathing deeply, walking mindfully, eating with gratitude, are now backed by modern science as tools for cellular vitality? When I speak of energy, I am not referring only to blood sugar or heart rate. I am speaking of the subtle current that moves you toward joy or away from fear. The philosopher Teilhard de Chardin once said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." What if your tiredness is not a lack of strength, but a lack of alignment? What if your energy is waiting behind a locked door, and all that's missing is the key and the awareness to turn it? Here's a practical step. Tonight, when the house is quiet, sit in your favorite chair. Turn off the television. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. Do this for 5 minutes. Not to meditate like a monk, but to listen to your breath, to the silence, to yourself. You may find that within that silence, something stirs. A memory, a calling, a small surge of warmth in the chest. That is not coincidence. That is your energy remembering itself. Don't believe anyone who says your energy is gone because of age. The truth is, energy responds to attention. What we observe, we strengthen. Quantum physics has shown this in experiments like the double-slit experiment, where even particles behave differently when observed. The same principle applies to your life. When you begin to observe where your energy flows, who drains it, what nourishes it, you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. This is not a call to believe. It's a call to experiment. You are the observer and the observed, the player and the game. And the moment you begin to ask, "Where did my energy go?" is the same moment you begin to remember how to bring it back. Your journey is not over. It's only just beginning. Imagine your life as a house filled with rooms you've walked through 1,000 times: kitchen, bedroom, hallway, but behind one of those walls is a hidden door, and behind that door is a forgotten room glowing with light. That room is your energy, not the kind measured only in calories or steps, but the deeper vitality that fuels your clarity, your sense of purpose, and even your will to get out of bed with a sense of quiet joy. And yet, most of us never open that door because we've forgotten it exists. We've mistaken our routines for reality. We've allowed our breath to become shallow, our thoughts to run on autopilot, and our memories to gather dust in unopened boxes. But what if I told you that your breath, your thoughts, and even your long-buried memories are not just fragments of experience but clues, codes to rediscover the energy you thought was gone? Modern neuroscience shows that every thought produces a cascade of neurochemicals. A negative thought, especially when repeated, releases cortisol and other stress hormones that tax the nervous system and weaken the immune response. On the other hand, intentional focus on gratitude or deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering blood pressure, calming the heart, and literally rewiring the brain through neuroplasticity. This is not poetry. This is Harvard, Stanford, and the National Institutes of Health all confirming what ancient traditions have practiced for centuries. What you think and how you breathe affects your biology. But here is the forgotten wisdom, the spiritual side of it. Your breath is not just oxygen. It is the bridge between the unconscious and the conscious, the physical and the metaphysical. In Hebrew, the word for breath is ruach, which also means spirit. In Sanskrit, it's prana, the life force. Every inhale is an invitation to return home to yourself. Start with something simple. The next time you feel tired or scattered, pause and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Not shallow sips, but full inhales from your belly, holding gently and exhaling longer than you inhale. Place one hand on your chest and one on your stomach. Feel which one rises. Train the lower hand to move first. This retrains your diaphragm and sends a signal to your brain that you are safe. When you do this, you are not just calming down. You are reclaiming your energy. The body is not a machine that breaks down with time, it is a symphony that responds to attention. Even at 65 or 85, the body still listens to the mind, and the mind still listens to the breath. But what about memory? Neuroscientists now understand that memory is not fixed. It's dynamic. Every time you recall something, you reshape it. This means your past is not a prison. It's a palette. You can revisit moments not just to replay pain, but to release the trapped energy inside them. Try this. Think of a memory that always tires you out, one that plays like an old film in your mind. Instead of pushing it away, sit with it. Breathe through it. Notice where it lives in your body. Is it a tightness in the chest? A heaviness behind the eyes? As you breathe, place your attention there. In doing so, you begin to unlock what's been frozen. The past doesn't have to drain you, can heal you if you know how to look. So today, I invite you not to work harder or move faster, but to begin noticing. Notice how you breathe when you speak to your children. Notice what thoughts arise when you sit in silence. Notice the way your body tightens or softens based on what you remember. Observation is the first key, because when you begin to see with new eyes, your old life begins to change. Energy is not something outside of you. It is already here, hidden like a message inside a bottle waiting for you to open it. And once you begin, the game shifts. You're not just surviving. You're decoding. You're remembering. You're coming back to life. Think of your body as a living map, and somewhere within it lies a system of hidden roads and locked vaults holding the energy you've been trying to find. The key is not to search outside of yourself, but to decode what is already within. This is not abstract philosophy. It is a practical process backed by science and rooted in timeless wisdom. Every time you take a breath, feel a surge of emotion, or reflect on a memory, you are triggering a network of responses in your brain and body that either release or restrict energy. The question is, are you aware of it? Studies in psychoneuroimmunology have shown that conscious breathing reduces inflammation and increases immune resilience by lowering cortisol levels. A study from the University of Wisconsin even found that participants who practiced mindful breathing daily showed significant increases in positive effect and energy regulation. Your breath is not just a response to life, it is a tool for shaping how life moves through you. But breath alone is not enough. You must learn to read the signs of your own energy matrix. Begin by noticing patterns. What thoughts consistently leave you drained? Which people leave you feeling small? Where in your daily routine do you collapse inward instead of expand outward? These are not just annoyances. They are signals, data points that reveal where energy is leaking. Once you see the pattern, you can begin to shift it. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, confirms this. When you consciously redirect your thoughts or reframe an emotional reaction, you physically alter the connections in your brain. You are not fixed in the shape of your past. You are in a constant state of becoming. Imagine yourself not as an aging machine but as an evolving instrument capable of tuning itself with the right frequency. That frequency begins with attention. Now bring your attention to your body, not just in passing, but like a detective listening for a whisper in a crowded room. Each part of your body holds memory and energy. Tension in your shoulders may be the weight of unspoken grief. Tightness in your jaw could be decades of suppressed anger. Fatigue in your legs might echo years of pushing forward without rest. Somatic psychology has shown that the body remembers what the mind forgets. But the opposite is also true. When you begin to feel those places with awareness, when you breathe into them and allow sensation to surface without judgment, you are opening channels. That is how energy returns, not as lightning, but as thawing. Slow, steady, deep. Try this now. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Scan your body from head to toe. Where is there discomfort? Where is there warmth? Choose one area and simply breathe into it. Don't try to fix it. Just feel it. Then ask yourself softly, what is this part trying to say? You may hear nothing, or you may hear everything. The message might come as an image, a word, or a feeling. Trust it. That's the language of your inner world returning. This practice, when done daily, becomes a conversation with yourself, one that grows deeper and more powerful with time. The philosopher Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." I believe the wound is also the place where energy returns. Not by force, but by attention, by breath, by willingness to feel what we've spent a lifetime avoiding. You don't need more motivation or more supplements. You need more connection to your body, to your breath, to your inner signals. This is how you decode your matrix. This is how you remember that energy is not something you chase. It is something you awaken. So start small. Start now. Choose one breath, one thought, one moment of awareness. That is the first step back into your power. And it is enough. Now that you understand your energy is not gone but hidden beneath layers of habit, memory, and unconscious thought, the next question becomes urgent. How do we begin? Not in theory but in practice. How do we track the leaks, heal the gaps, and awaken the flow? The answer lies not in complexity, but in attention. Your daily life is already full of entry points. Every breath, every movement, every conversation offers a chance to shift your energy from depletion to renewal. Neuroscience reminds us that the brain thrives on patterns, and it is through small, repeated actions that new neural pathways form. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work shows how intentional focus can change not only brain chemistry but also gene expression. Likewise, researchers at UCLA have found that people who write about their feelings, even for just 15 minutes a day, show reduced activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, and increased regulation in the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making. That means when you write about what you feel, when you name what is real, your brain calms down and your energy starts to realign. Start simple. In the morning, before turning on the news or reaching for your phone, sit in stillness for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and feel your breath enter and exit your body. Place your hand on your chest and simply ask, "Where's my energy today?" You don't need a logical answer. You need an honest one. Is it high, low, scattered, heavy? Just by naming it, you begin the act of tracking. Now move to healing. Healing does not require perfection. It requires presence. Begin to notice what nourishes you. Maybe it's sunlight on your face, or a phone call with someone who makes you laugh without effort. These are not small things. These are your medicine. Start writing them down. Make a list titled, "What Gives Me Energy?" and another called, "What Drains Me?" Review it every week. You'll begin to see patterns, and from those patterns you'll discover choices. And then we come to awakening. This is not a mystical event reserved for monks or saints. Awakening is practical. It is the moment you decide to respond differently. When you choose to walk around the block instead of sitting in the fog of fatigue. When you take a deep breath before answering that difficult phone call. When you catch yourself speaking poorly to your own reflection and instead say, "I'm still here and I'm trying." These small choices are sacred. They build momentum. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." This is the essence of awakening. You don't wait for clarity to act. You act, and clarity begins to unfold. Try this practice tonight. Before bed, sit quietly and replay your day like a film. Ask, where did I give my energy freely? Where did I protect it? Where did I lose it? Then choose one moment you want to do differently tomorrow. Visualize it clearly. Walk through it in your mind like an athlete preparing for a game. This primes your nervous system and makes the change more likely. This is not theory. This is how Olympic coaches train champions. The same principle works at every age and every stage of life. Your brain is listening. Your body is listening. The more consistent your practice, the more stable your energy becomes. You may be older, but that does not mean you are fading. It means you are ripening. And in this season of your life, your energy is not about running faster or doing more. It is about choosing wisely, living intentionally, and remembering that even in stillness, there is great power. So begin today. Track your energy. Heal where you can. Awaken by choice. One breath at a time, one thought at a time, one moment of courage at a time. You are not done. You are just getting started. There comes a moment, often quiet and unannounced, when you begin to realize that the search for energy was never about finding something new but about remembering something ancient within yourself. You are not just the seeker but also the source. The game you've been playing is not one of acquiring more, but of returning to what was always there. This realization is not only philosophical, it is physiological. The body responds to awareness like a locked door responds to the right key. Research from the HeartMath Institute reveals that when we cultivate coherence between our heart, brain, and breath, the entire body begins to operate more efficiently. Heart rate variability improves, immune function strengthens, and emotional resilience rises. These are not mystical ideas, but measurable shifts that occur when we stop resisting and start aligning. The ancient sages spoke of the self as both player and playground, and now neuroscience echoes them, showing that consciousness itself shapes the biology it inhabits. As you move into this stage of life, your value is not in your speed but in your depth. Energy now is not a matter of stamina but of clarity. When you move with intention, even a single step carries more weight than 1,000 frantic motions. The philosopher Plotinus once wrote that the soul becomes what it contemplates. So I ask you, what are you contemplating each day? If it is fear, decay, and loss, your energy will reflect that. But if it is meaning, beauty, and presence, your body and mind will begin to echo that reality. This is not a denial of age or pain. It is a deeper invitation to use your awareness as medicine. Each day offers you a choice, to consume energy unconsciously or to cultivate it with purpose. Begin your mornings with stillness. Even 2 minutes of conscious breath before your feet touch the floor can reset your nervous system. Let your first thoughts not be about the news or the pills but about gratitude. Studies from the University of California show that people who practice daily gratitude sleep better, have lower blood pressure, and report higher levels of vitality. That is not coincidence. Gratitude activates the brain's reward center and signals to the body that it is safe to heal. During your day, simplify your attention. Rather than multitasking, choose single tasking. When drinking tea, just drink tea. When speaking to someone, just listen. This sharpens your presence and magnifies your energy like a focused beam of light. In the evening, reflect gently. Not to judge the day but to complete it. Light a candle. Sit quietly. Ask yourself, where was I most alive today? Where did I go numb? Let this be your compass, not your critic. The mind loves direction, and you are its teacher. With consistent practice, your life becomes not just something you move through, but something that moves through you with grace and rhythm. You are not here to run faster. You are here to move truer. The final mystery is this: you are both the spark and the witness. The breath you take is not just air, but memory, story, and light. The body you inhabit is not in the way, it is the way. Every wrinkle is a map, every ache a message, every moment a chance to wake up again. So do not wait for a perfect day or a grand revelation. Begin where you are with what you have and trust that your presence is enough. You don't need to be more. You simply need to remember that who you already are contains the energy you've been seeking. And now that you know the game has changed, you are not playing to survive. You are playing to awaken. And with each conscious breath, you win.